Formula One is no stranger to big promotional stunts and branded gimmicks. Red Bull has driven their car across beaches and ski slopes, Lotus did tie-ins with Mad Max and Daft Punk, but back in 2004, Jaguar Racing's promotions of the movie Ocean's 12 resulted in a $250,000 diamond disappearing in the middle of the Monaco Grand Prix. Was this an elaborate heist, or did they just manage to lose an uninsured jewel? Everyone is a suspect in this case. Jaguar Racing, the Diamond Company, random spectators on the streets of Monaco, even George Clooney himself. After finishing 7th in the championship yet again, Jaguar F1's parent company Ford was getting fed up with throwing a bunch of money into an expensive racing endeavor and getting zero recognition for their investment. I might have started with naming the team Ford instead of Jaguar, but what do I know? As Ford began reallocating more and more funding towards their rally racing endeavor, Jaguar knew this season might be their last chance to get the car some exposure, or Ford would pull the plug. The 5-year-old outfit had two options: either compete with the likes of Ferrari, Renault, and BAR Honda for the World Championship, or find a way to get a hell of a lot of publicity. And they figured the latter might be easier. You've got to remember that in 2004, F1 was very different.
We have 3 red lights, and 4, now 5, and we're away at Monaco!
Sure, it was the pinnacle of motorsport, and everyone says we should bring the V10s back. They are correct. But getting eyeballs on the back market team like Jaguar took more than just showing up. Broadcast and media coverage, camera coverage, none of that was as comprehensive as it is today. There was no Drive to Survive. Fernando Alonso was years away from starting his TikTok. So getting newspapers to write articles about your team, that actually had a big effect. The Monaco Grand Prix was always crawling with celebrities, which meant media attention. Monaco is also often a good opportunity for lower teams to score points because there are so few chances for overtakes, meaning a great qualifying lap and a clean race is sometimes all it takes. It would be the perfect place to drum up some coverage, and Jaguar Racing sure as hell needed it. We spoke to Nav Sidhu, the team's then director of communications, and the guy who had the idea to put this whole thing together, and he told us how it all went down. Sidhu got in touch with Jerry Weintraub, the producer of Ocean's 12. The two of them agreed to get George Clooney, Brad Pitt, and Matt Damon to Monaco for some photo shoots and PR ops. The car and the team would be decked out in Ocean's 12 liveries and logos.
Is that your idea of making a contribution?
And to sweeten the pot, Sidhu made another call to a global diamond dealer named the Steinmetz Group. The jeweler agreed to supply very real diamonds to be set in the nose cones of the team's 2 cars. To cap it all off, these diamonds weren't just for photo ops. The $250,000 stones were to be left in place for the race as well. The PR stunt certainly made an impact. The small team had A-list celebrities in and out of the paddock, and it marked the first time a team had committed so wholeheartedly to a movie tie-in.
And this year, even the cars are wearing diamonds. Jaguar have pulled out all the stops, but you want to be looking your best when Hollywood's heavy hitters like the Ocean's 12 cast are popping in to say hello.
We're having a great time. It's a great excuse to get down here and see the race. So
things were looking actually positive for Jaguar. All they needed to do was have a clean race. So, on the 23rd of May 2004, the 2 Jaguar drivers lined up 11th and 14th on the streets of the Principality. The 5 red lights went out, and rookie driver Christian Klien took off on his first Monaco start with the hopes of Jaguar on his shoulders and a $250,000 rock on his nose. Today, the Monaco Grand Prix is known as kind of a boring parade, not much overtaking, but 20 years ago, fueling regulations, as well as the mix of tires, aero, and engine manufacturers, made for a hectic first stint where the opportunity for glory was around every corner. Unfortunately, not for Klien. At the Lowe's hairpin, just 6 corners into the race, Klien's Jaguar went straight into the barrier, nose first. The car was quickly recovered off the track under the yellow flag, but one of the Steinmetz Group's precious diamonds was gone. Marshals searched everyone, but the nose cone had actually broken off earlier in the lap, and the broadcast didn't quite capture the incident that tore off Klien's front wing. The diamond was never found, and the easy assumption is that some lucky fan, or maybe a corner worker, walked away with a hell of a souvenir. But what if it was all an elaborate plan to make people think the jewel had been lost, only for a dozen fake mustache-wearing mechanics to walk out with the jewel safely tucked in a coverall pocket? Let's rewind a bit. On the broadcast replay, Klien comes into the hairpin with his front wing already missing, but there is no way to tell if the jewel had even been there at that time. Before his damage, the initial race start had been aborted because the Toyota of Olivier Panis had pulled up short of his grid box, right next to Klien. This caused a frantic rush of mechanics back onto the track, and in the ensuing chaos, maybe someone who shouldn't have been there spirited away the race-ready jewel. Maybe they even swapped it out with a replica? But look, this wasn't an Ocean's film. The duller truth is that if anyone wanted to steal a diamond, it would have been far easier to take it from one of the other 4 nose cones in the Jaguar garage. And that's because due to F1's Parc Fermé regulations, all Jaguar nose cones had to be the same spec to be used in the race. So that meant a diamond for every one. There was actually plenty of speculation that these jewels were in fact always replicas, because what insurance company will let you stick an actual precious gem on the front of a race car in a race? Well, none, it turns out. But despite that, the diamonds weren't fake. As Nav Sadhu put it, you're just not going to find a reputable diamond company in the world that is going to give you fake diamonds. Klien retired from the race, and several laps later, his teammate Mark Webber did as well, nose cone intact. But whether you see this as a calculated plan or a gimmick gone wrong, the fact that we are still talking about it 20 years later makes it a PR success in my book. Certainly more of a success than Ocean's 12 was. I mean, Julia Roberts playing a Julia Roberts lookalike, come on. In November of 2004, Ford did end up selling Jaguar Racing, and I'm sure many employees gave up on their championship dreams when they found out who their new owners would be, some Austrian soda company called Red Bull. Big thanks to Nav Sadhu, who was gracious enough to talk to us for the article we wrote about this a couple of years ago. If you want to see his full interview and hear what it felt like inside the Jaguar garage that day, check out the full article on thedrive.com, linked in the description below. Thanks for watching.